You are finally ready. You have finished your training as a programmer and are ready to enter the job market. One of the reasons you decided to become a programmer is because it is a profession with virtually no unemployment and it pays quite well, so you are starting with a lot of enthusiasm. But what do you find? They are looking for people who already have experience and you haven't worked yet. You need that first experience to access the jobs where they seek experience. What happens? To get a job, you need experience. And you can't gain experience if you don't find that first job. So the question is, how can you break out of this loop? Hello, I am John Charles. I work in human resources, and I am here to give you a hand. Before we start, I will tell you that according to the Mexican Institute of Youth, only 10% of recent graduates in computer science manage to work in the field. I'm not telling you this to make you feel unfortunate, but rather to reassure you. It means that 90% of the people who have studied the same as you have been in the same situation you are in now at some point. So let's look at some tips I can give you to help you enter the job market. First, you need to understand the market. It's great that you have the training and knowledge that you do, but the job market doesn't care about that. It rather takes it for granted. All the people who have studied the same as you have the same knowledge as you. What companies require from you is work experience, because this experience gives you knowledge and skills that are not the ones you acquired during your student years. You may know a lot about computing or programming, but if you don't have skills to work in a team, to work under pressure, or to interact with other people, companies won't care in the slightest whether you work with them or not. So, the mindset you have needs to change. You need to be able to adapt to what companies are demanding. You must acquire this knowledge and these skills that experience will give you. In other words, you need to be able to go beyond what academic knowledge provides. Second, you need to be aware of the skills you have but don't yet know. You may not have worked, but surely you have done other things. For example, during your studies, you might have done internships, or you might have started some projects on your own, or perhaps you have participated in competitions, workshops, or hackathons. All these experiences, even if they are not 100% professional, even if they do not mean that you have worked as an employee for a company, are very, very important. Have you been part of a team to develop some kind of program while you were in university? Then you surely know how to work in a team. Have you been part of a jury in an amateur contest at the institute? Well then, you have analytical skills. Have you worked in an NGO in your free time? Well then, you surely have communication skills. This is very important. You should reflect on it and include these skills in your resume. Third, expand your knowledge. Virtually any company that is going to start a selection process with you will conduct some level test to know what your technical capabilities are. So no matter how advanced your knowledge is in a specific technology, you should expand your knowledge and explore more tools, because it will be very useful for passing the technical test that companies will give you. These tests are often not focused on a specific technology, but rather include several different technologies. And don't get me wrong, it's not necessary to take formal courses on many different technologies. On YouTube and other community platforms, you can find a lot of free training. You also have courses on Udemy, Domestika, or Platzi where you can expand your knowledge. Looking for a job is not synonymous with being idle. Make sure you are constantly growing and learning. Having a portfolio as a programmer is the best way to showcase your skills to recruiters. It is a way to demonstrate the achievements you have reached. It speaks much more than your own resume, so make sure to have a good portfolio. This is because a portfolio is essentially a way for you to stand out above the rest of the candidates in the selection processes. In these portfolios, you can upload any type of programming work you have done previously. For example, you can include in this portfolio projects you have developed, or the final projects from the training courses I just mentioned that you can take to increase your knowledge. Additionally, if you have progressed with any type of project on your own, in your free time, something that interested you, that is something you can perfectly include in this portfolio. There are several platforms for creating your portfolio, but I recommend GitHub. It is undoubtedly the most well-known among programmers, not to mention that it is an absolutely essential platform. You can have a broadcast channel. You still don't have experience, so you must showcase the knowledge and skills you have by any means at your disposal. The portfolio I just mentioned to you is a very good option, but you can go much further. A great way is through a YouTube channel or a website where you showcase your projects. This will not only give you exposure with companies, but you can also help many people who want to learn just as others are helping you in the training you are doing. In this way, little by little, you may start to see yourself as a reference within your sector or within the knowledge you possess. And this is always very attractive to companies. Recruiters love to search for you on the internet and see that you have a YouTube channel or a web platform where they can automatically view your projects. It makes you stand out above the rest of the people. You should start with scholarships or internships. I have talked about this in other videos before, but if you are starting to work, it is essential that you aim for internships and scholarships. It doesn't matter if the remuneration is very low or in some cases non-existent. Don't think of this as something negative. Obviously, we all like to get paid for working, but when you are starting out, you can't contribute as much as a paid employee, so many companies will choose not to pay you or give you a very low salary. It doesn't matter, don't worry, it's okay. These are simply the first steps of your professional career. Soon this experience will help you to be compensated. In any case, due to the shortage of programming talent in the job market, there are some companies that do not mind hiring people with little experience on a paid and permanent basis. But obviously, if you want to find these offers, don't go to job portals and type in the search bar programmer job without experience, because you basically won't find anything. They are not advertised that way. Instead, you can search for terms like entry, level, trainee, or junior. In these types of jobs, they might ask for a little experience or none at all, but if you have a good portfolio, a good LinkedIn profile, and a good resume, it won't be a problem. Even if you don't have experience, many companies will consider your application. Especially if you have a good portfolio and some type of distribution channel, create a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is the best professional network that exists, and within the programming community, many of you are not in the habit of registering on LinkedIn. But it is very important that you register on LinkedIn. And do you know why? Because it is where 100% of recruiters who are looking for candidates can be found. These people, the recruiters, are eager to find quality profiles, and LinkedIn is a resource that is not heavily utilized by programmers. So sign up on the network, create a strong profile, and upload your resume and portfolio. Additionally, LinkedIn is also a job portal where you can see many job postings. Create a quality resume. This is something very obvious and not just for programmers, but it is very important that you have a good resume. Recruiters, once they find you on any job portal, will call you and ask for your resume. And by the way, don't forget to link your broadcast channel, website, YouTube channel, or portfolio in this resume. If you want to know how you can create a good resume even if you don't have experience, I am leaving a video here, and in the video's description, I am also leaving some links where you can learn to make a much stronger resume. And finally, you need to access job portals specific to programmers. It is true that there are generic job portals that have all kinds of offers, such as LinkedIn, InfoJobs in Spain, or Trabajando.com in Latin America. But as a programmer, you also need to be registered on some specific portals for the IT sector. Some of these portals are Talent Hackers, Tecnoempleo, Tecnotrabajos, and TickJobs. That's all. I hope this video has been very useful for you in finding your first job as a programmer. It would help me a lot if you shared it with people who might be interested. And remember to subscribe to this channel if you are interested in this type of content. That's it. I say goodbye and wish you the best of luck in your job search. Goodbye.